on this call, we have Tarlise Bordeaux, and she's going to be sharing some strategies on the process that she goes through to attract people, to get them engaged, to get their attention, and to make sales and everything in between in 45 minutes or 30 minutes. But maybe to start, Tarlise, could you tell people, like, what is your business right now, and then we can get into, you know, like, what's the process that you go through, and maybe how you developed this process, or where you started, how you started it, and like what kind of results it's given you, and what kind of results people can expect if they follow maybe a similar process as you.
Yeah, so can you see me and hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so for me, I'm a network marketer, and people don't like MLM. Let's be honest. People think, you know, it's a pyramid scheme, and this is salesy, and you guys are pitchy, and that's just kind of what I hear all the time. And so for me, I just had to learn how to market without being a complete slime ball, if you will, because that's what a lot of people do. They're really pushy and really spammy. And so I really just had to kind of build a relationship part of it. And it's sad, but a lot of people don't. You know, for me, Gary, you know my story, but when I started out in network marketing, which I'm currently doing, I was broke. Like, I lost my 9-to-5 job. I had to sell a bunch of my possessions to even get into my business. I sold my bed to pay for my kit. And so I didn't have money for ads and for, you know, all this stuff. I couldn't pay for lead pages. I couldn't do any of that. And so how I built my business to 6 figures in just a few months, mind you, is I built relationships. I used Facebook. I utilized Pinterest. I utilized Instagram, and I leveraged those and really built relationships. And it's just worked for me. But, you know, a lot of people, you know, you and I were talking about it a little bit before we started this live broadcast, is the follow-up. A lot of people just expect to throw their link up on Facebook and expect to put their stuff out there and have people just beating down their doors, and that doesn't happen. You have to follow up. You know, I can't tell you how many balls I've dropped. Let's use network marketing, for example, where someone has asked me for either a sample of something or asked me, you know, for information, and I let the hustle and bustle and the disorganized Tarlise get the best of me. And then I see them on Facebook a week later, and they've signed up with someone else. And so what I've really tried to do and become really good at is making that initial connection, connecting with them via chat, and then pulling that off of Facebook. And so I always say, which sounds kind of cheesy, but it's really true, I always say, hey guys, you know, chat's a little bit impersonal. Do you have a couple of minutes to get on the phone? And then I talk to them. And I actually, to be honest, don't go into it expecting a sales transaction. I expect to see what they're up to, see how I can help them, see, you know, if there's a mutual respect there, and then it will turn into something. But I'll tell you what, I can't even explain to you how many referrals I get because of that, because maybe that person doesn't want anything to do with me, maybe that person's not interested in my product, but they always think of me when someone brings up health and wellness, or when someone brings up, you know, Instagram, because I have an Instagram product, they always refer to me because I made that initial contact. I made the decision to take it off of Facebook and get a little bit more personal about them. I didn't pitch them when I got on to the actual phone with them. I just had a conversation. I always ask, how can I help you? And it either turns into something where I get a referral, we build a relationship, or they're like, I want to buy your stuff. And so that's how I've been able to build my business. Is I have like a talk to them right now list, and then I have a they told me no, but I'm going to keep them on my list for later. And so I always touch base with people, and I always constantly, I treat it as a friendship, and I realize that even if they're not going to do business, I'm getting business 2 years later from someone that's like, oh, Tarlise is really good at Instagram, so, you know, you should talk to her. She's a great person. She's not spammy. She's not salesy. And I just take it that route.
Cool. Cool. So there's a lot of important things here that you said there that I think people like make like mistakes. So for me, you know, when I started out, I didn't have that, much like you, I didn't have a lot of money. I had a lot of debt. And I was like, okay, well, I need to get out of this thing. And I can't run ads, and I don't want to borrow money, and I was already in debt up until my eyeballs. So I was like, well, I just gotta like figure out, like, there's these people on, you know, Facebook, and I gotta message them, and I gotta find a way to talk with them. I gotta get people to raise their hand, get their attention, right, somehow. And so you're very good at that. Like, you're good at engaging your following, right, your people. And the other thing is that you said is that you don't do, and this is what I teach people, is like, you don't do business on Facebook. Like, business doesn't get done on messaging. And sometimes, like, I'll log into people's messages and just see what's going on. It's like on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And it's like, you can't do sales that way, right? You have to talk to people on the phone.
Well, see, it's like a catch-22 because I've done a ton of Facebook just through messaging. I've done a ton of business. However, I've wasted a lot of time doing that, going back and forth and back and forth. When I could have gotten them on the phone and said, hey, dude, what do you need? Does this work? Okay, you know, like, I can't even tell you how many messages back and forth you go. And then at the end of the day, if you don't make that sale, you're like, awesome, I just wasted an hour. When I could have gotten them on the phone and I could have, you know, done it right there, or I could have gotten a no, put them on my list for later, and I could have carried on with my day. But a lot of people don't get that. You know, I look at it all as, you know, how many minutes and dollars am I wasting? And so I don't want to waste time going back and forth. I don't want to, as much as I love to chat, if I'm interested in doing business with someone, I don't want to have a conversation of 20, 30 messages back and forth. And, you know, I was on a call the other day with someone that was saying, well, that's cool, you have a product to sell right now. Like, I'm just starting out, I don't know what to do. And I remind people, and Gary, you talk about this all the time, but there's something that you're good at. There's something that you have right now that people would buy. And so I'm in a mastermind group, and the other day the lady was like, wow, would you love me to tell you how I'm getting my master's, I cook 3 meals a day, this and that and that. And I was like, yes, I would love to know that. So she's really organized. I'm all over the frickin' map. But that girl has something that I need, and so I would pay her. And she's like, whoa, I never thought of it that way. And so all of us have a course inside of us. There's something. I mean, you might not be able to charge a lot of money for it, but you can charge a couple people, you know, a small amount of money, and you can get to where you need to get. And people simply, point of the matter is, people sell themselves short. They don't believe that they have something that people need, or they overlook stuff that they do day to day that maybe they're really good at. And so, you know, when we were talking the other day about generating money and getting income, if I told you right now, you know, if I had a gun to your loved one's head and I said, find me $5,000 by the end of the day, guess what? Guess who would find $5,000? You would. So why is it easy to send around and go, so-and-so did this and so-and-so did that, but they have, no, we all have it in us. It's just we're selling ourselves short, and we're not realizing that, dude, I'm really good at organizing, or I'm really good at phone sales, or I'm really good at whatever. And it's as simple as packaging it. I mean, create a free ebook or create an ebook or something. I mean, there's so many ways, but unfortunately, in our realm of friends and acquaintances, the internet marketing / business entrepreneurs, you see something and you feel that it has to be perfect. You know, so-and-so has this amazing video and this amazing landing page, and you don't realize so-and-so has a team of 20 people. You don't. So what can you do? What do you have right now that you can use that to propel and use a stepping stone, you know? I mean, I don't think anyone's first product or first anything was perfect. You know, you always look back and you laugh, but what that does is a lot of people, they get like paralysis through analysis and they just don't do it. But then they get mad when someone else signs them up, or they get mad when someone else launches the same course, or they get mad when so-and-so got that friendship or that relationship that they should have had, and it's simply action.
Yeah. So tell me this. So you recently, like, I saw that you got this thing, right?
Yes.
So tell me about this. How do you use this? What's your process like from the time that how do you engage people and get them on the phone? Like, what's your thinking behind it? What's your process for it? And if you do have a process, like, what is that?
So you'll notice, like, as far as building a tribe, I mean, you know, Gary, you find that there's certain people that maybe have never purchased from you, but they're always commenting on your stuff. They're always liking your stuff. They're always just there, kind of lingering. And those are the people that I end up getting on my team, that pay attention to me. The people that are always complimenting my selfies, or that are always saying, "Ooh, that recipe looks good." The little stuff that other people overlook, I pay attention to that like you would not believe. Like, it's funny because people laugh at me and they say, "Oh, you're posting another selfie." Well, guess what? I posted one last week and it got me a several $100 client. Like, you don't pay attention to that, but it's these people that are engaging and the ones that are constantly liking your stuff. And I reach out to them. I'm like, "Ha ha, isn't that picture funny?" Or like, I did this the other day. There was someone that I really looked up to, that I wanted to connect with, that I was kind of worried. It was almost weird. Like, I'm not a shy person, but I was worried about reaching out to them. And I simply messaged him and I said, apparently this is the place that I should cut and paste a message saying, "I'd like to connect with like-minded individuals, ha ha ha." And he was like, "Oh my gosh, you have no idea how many I get of those. How are you? Nice to meet you." And it took the pressure off me. It made me not feel, all nervous. And then he was like, "That is so true." And then we got in this long conversation about how people hit him up on his email or on his message every day with, "I'd like to connect with like-minded individuals," and blah, blah, blah. That conversation turned into marketing. And then he said, "You know what, I'd really like to talk to you a little bit further about this." And it led into something much larger than that. And it was just me stepping outside of my comfort zone. And he was on my list of people I wanted to connect with. And so how I use that is anyone that's reaching out to me, anyone that's paying attention to me, that's sharing my stuff, that's liking me, that's loving me, I put them on a I want to contact list. Not necessarily sales, but I put them on a I need to connect with this person. And whether it be me being of service to them or if I maybe want something for them. But I use that to track it. I don't know where mine is because I had it in my bag, but I have it sectioned into two parts. So I have I need this person in my business, and then I have a section as I need to connect with this person for whatever reason. And so there's people that I have strictly for a monetary reason, and people that I just want to connect with and see if maybe we can mastermind, if they can help me, if they can be, of service to me, etc. And then when people tell me no, I have an orange marker. I put an orange marker through it so I can still see the information, and then I move on to the next one. So I don't ever really cross anyone off, but I put a line through people that are like, "No, I don't want to do anything with you. I'll talk to you later." And then later when I look back at it, I realize, okay, these are the people I was not able to get in contact with. Anyone with an orange, I contact them a month from now. And that's how I work it. I operate my business of I know exactly how much money I need to generate in a month, and I break it down during the day. And so if I didn't do a certain amount during the day, then I roll that over. And I break it down into every single day I need to do $3,000, $4,000 in sales, or I need to make X amount in commission a day. And then I set it for the month, and every month I reset and I kind of readjust what I need to do. So all right, I'm looking at my book that Gary has right now. I've contacted 50 people, and I was $15,000 short this month. Let's see where I messed up. And then I hit the reset button every single month in my business, and I go back over all the orange marks that I didn't talk to or that I didn't do business with, and I just reach out to them again.
Okay, good. So there's a couple of things. There's a couple of things I think that we probably share in common, right? So I'll just tell you, like, the mindset. I think the mindset is important. So when someone tells you no, the mindset that I have, and you just tell me, like, if you agree with this, the mindset that I have is no is I don't know what no means. No means like not right now for me. Like the time's not right, the timing's not right. I'm doing this other thing. Like a no to me, I make the assumption that everyone I talk to, like, and I truly believe this, is like everyone I talk to, they're going to work with me at some point or another, right? So it's just a matter of time, right? And sometimes I'll say to the people, like, look, it's just a matter of time before we're going to work together, right? So you might as well do it now because you're going to do it eventually, right? And that's how I think about it.
I was going to say, well, just like I was saying, though, when I had lost my job and my money was dwindling and I was like, oh, crap, what do? I wasn't on Facebook. I'm a very transparent person, but there's some stuff that I didn't go tell everyone, hey guys, I'm like eating ramen right now and I'm getting kicked out of my place, blah blah blah.
Right.
And so if someone would have asked me to join their business at that time, I would have said no. Not because I didn't want to. All I wanted to do was join a business because I needed freaking money. But I said no. So I always keep that in mind that I don't know what's going on in someone's life. I don't know their story. I know what they portray. I know what they want me to know. But them telling me no, I don't take stuff personally. I never take anything personally. It's not against me. It's not at the right time in their life. So I put an orange line through them and I go to the next person. Then I talk to them next month. Oh, you know what? Awesome, I just got married, this and that. I need your services now. Cool, I'm glad I kept you on a list. You know, a lot of people get told no, and then they write it off forever, and you never know. I mean, it's so weird how, you know, us as entrepreneurs, we find this new thing, and we're like, yeah, gung-ho about it, and then it falls off, or we find a new project. And so just because I don't align with them right now with what I'm doing in network marketing and what I'm doing with my Instagram product does not mean that a month from now they're not going to come across someone that has this huge account that needs my service. And so if I write them off, if I cut communication with them, then that's a potential loss for me in the future.
Yeah. So the important thing is there's a short-term thing, there's a long-term thing going on here, right? So for you, like, you got followers, you're building the following. And that stuff's not going to go away anytime soon, right? Facebook and Instagram, those things aren't going to go away soon. So these people, they're like for life, you know, for whatever life of that platform is, right? But they're like for the life of that platform, they're following you, and if you go to a different platform, they're going to follow you there too, right? So it's like a connection that's built over time, right? It's just a matter of time before, you know, like, you got to build that. I think the important thing you said there is you got to build that friendship. You know, you don't.
And Facebook and Instagram is great. I mean, I've almost 100% of my business has been through Facebook and Instagram, and I've had a really successful business, so I get it. However, I was like all excited the other day, and I was like, can't believe I've done all this, and I've had 0 lists. I just started building my list 6 weeks ago, rah, rah, rah. And then I was thinking, dude, if Facebook or Instagram got shut down right now, what would I do? And so I looked back and I was thinking, well, you know what? I've pulled all of these contacts off of Facebook. You and I when we first connected, we got off of chat and we got on the phone. It's just what I do. So now I'm not worried about it. Although I build almost 100% of my business through those, if they went away tomorrow, I'd still be okay. And that's why it's important, you know, to get on the phone, whether it be an hour or 2 minutes, to have, you know, some sort of communication, get an outside number, you know, if you're ever locked out of your Facebook or whatever. But it's sad but true, a lot of people don't do that. They just don't. And they don't follow up. I wanted to buy some stuff the other day from another person, and I'm like, dude, can you just call me? I want to give you money. I want to buy something from you. I don't want to buy it from someone else because I'm your Facebook friend. Can you help me out? And they were too busy to connect with me, and I'm like, all right, guess you don't want the sale then.
You know, that's actually a really good point. I had that same experience. I think a lot of people have that experience. My Mac keyboard broke because I spilled water on it. But I called up a guy and I saw the reviews and I said, hey, essentially I got my Visa and my card and I'm ready to pay you money. And he said, oh, you know, I'm doing this thing, I'll call you back. Never called me back, right? So when people are buying, they are in the buying mode, and what they're looking for is for you to be there. But they're not looking for you. They're looking for the thing. So you got what I think what you do great is you're constantly in front of people. Like on your Facebook, you're constantly there. You're hitting it. You're not afraid to hit it. And then you hit it, and then you hit it again, and then you share your story, you share a picture, you share something funny, you share something that pisses you off, right? A rant, right?
And that's the thing. Here's the big part about it. I might be annoying to a lot of people, and here's the thing, I don't care. I don't. Like, I've come to the point in my life where I'm not going to filter myself for what other people think. Like, I'm going to drop an F-bomb, and you know what? That's fine, because here's what I'm going to do. automatically dismiss everyone that doesn't like that because they're not my target market anyways, and then I'm going to hone in on the people that want my stuff, you know. And going back to what you just said, the perfect example is I talk to my team about it. I say the car lot method. When you're on the car lot and you're excited and you're like, yeah, I'm getting a BMW today, I'm here, and no one comes to help you, you're like, oh, okay, maybe I'll go next door to Jetta or whatever. And then you go, like, you need to get people while they're hot, while they're asking questions, while they're commenting on your stuff, while they're liking your pictures. They're on your car lot. And so if you don't pull them off and you don't make the sale right then, they're going to the next dealership and you're out, you know? Like, you can't be too busy to walk out of your office on the car lot and be like, hey guys, how can I help you? What can you want to test drive? Come over here, I have it. And so many people don't do that. They're too busy trying to bring in more people. You know, that's the thing. People are trying to bring in more people, and I want more, and I want more, and I want more, when you don't think about the people that are in front of you.
Boom. Right. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. You got people in front of you.
Yeah, I used Pinterest as an example the other day. I said, man, I was just looking at my Pinterest board and I had thousands and thousands and thousands of pictures and like all these things and crafts I want to do. And I was like, do you know how many of them I've done? But what do? I keep collecting all this stuff and I've taken action on none of it. So what does it matter? That's what people are doing. They're like, I need more friends and I need this and I need to do this and I gotta put out this link. And it's like, are you making any sales? What are you doing? Have you connected with any of these 5,000 friends that you have? Like, why are you collecting information if you're not going to do anything with it?
Right. Totally. The car lot analogy, I thought that was kind of interesting. Like what you said about likes and shares, right? So I don't think people really understand the significance of that. Because there's a significance to it, and here's what I mean, and you could tell me what you think about this, is if somebody likes your stuff, right, they're giving you, like the first element in sales is attention. They're giving you, it's like that's their way of showing their attention towards you. Like that's where they're spending that unit of attention. They could be thousands of other friends, they could be liking their stuff, they could be watching YouTube, they could be Googling stuff, they could be on forum. There's like millions of things they could be doing, but somehow you got on their radar and they liked your stuff. What is the significance to you about, like, for that? Like, is there a significance to it?
Absolutely. You know, I don't know how to properly explain this, but I'm going to try. So there are certain people that no matter how much money you make, no matter how much fame you have, everyone looks up to someone. Everyone, you know, admires to be like somebody, wants to be like someone. And so I get a lot of messages saying like, wow, you were really transparent. Like I said, I don't filter myself. I'm like, dude, you think your life's messed up? Look what just happened to me. Like, I laugh about it. But you never know who you're touching at that moment. You never know who's sitting in the background or constantly, like, watching what you're doing or looking up to you. And so, like, just like you said, these people that are constantly saying, oh, thank you, or that's great, or whatever, just even a like, if you have someone that likes your pictures every day, you need to get your ass on the phone with that person. They might not be joining your business or something, but I know that there are people on your account right now that like everything you post that you're not doing business with, and the reason is why? Like, obviously something about you, you know, resonates with them, and so I think it's a huge deal, and I pay very close attention to who is who's engaging with me, and I pay very close attention to who's taking the time to comment or who's taking the time to reach out and message me via DM, because that's who likes my stuff. That's who wants my stuff, you know, and it might not be what I'm selling at the moment, but as long as I take time to reciprocate, that's what matters, you know?
Yeah, and I think the important thing, I think maybe the thing that people miss is when people don't buy what you're selling, they buy you first. Like, they buy your personality. They connect with you. That's how we connect, right? So they, you know, what you, I think you do great is you share bad stuff, you share good stuff, you share, you know, when you're going through your eye thing, you share that, right? That's things that most people are like, man, I wouldn't share that, you know. And I think what happens when you share that type of stuff is there's a certain power to it. There's a vulnerability to it that people can connect with. They're like, oh wow, she can do that. She must be, you know, powerful. And I wish I could do that. And I like her for that. To be honest, you know, when I first got introduced to you, I saw your post and I was like, man, this girl's really annoying, right? And I was like,
a lot of people think I'm really annoying. Totally,
yeah.
I don't care.
I was like, man, this girl's really annoying. And then I would message my friend. I'm like, have you seen her? She just won't shut up about this, right? But here's the interesting thing about that is we were commenting on what you were writing. So it's like, cool, that's good for you, right? Like, good, we're talking about you. We're not talking about something else, right? And so one of the, yeah, talk on that.
You know what the funniest thing is? People that supposedly hate me, that just I get direct messages from people going, "Whoa, you pissed so and so off. They don't like you."
Yeah.
Guess whose name's in my back office buying my shit. So you guys, you can talk about me all you want and say whatever you want. You're still buying my stuff, you know. And that's what I said. It just comes along with I've been able to just be me and not have to worry about what I say. And I know where my intention is. I would give the shirt off my back to help other people. I genuinely want to just give. I always do free stuff. I'm a giver. However, I don't feel the need to be like cookie cutter and putting my, you know, cute little outfit on and everything's perfect and here's my perfect sales video. That's not who I am, you know. And so I think that's why I've been able to be as successful as I am, is because people just get it. They're just like, what the hell is Tarlise going to post today? Like, they don't even know. And it might be annoying, but guess what? You were talking about me, so.
Whoa.
And you're still my friend. You know, you'll notice a lot of people will talk about you or criticize you or something, but they won't delete you from Facebook for some reason. And they still comment on your stuff even though they don't agree with you. And, you know, it's a free army. You don't have to be my friend. And so
right.
As annoying as it might get, people aren't deleting me, so I don't know. Yeah. Maybe I'm just around for everyone to laugh at. I don't know.
No, I mean, and I was just talking with Danielle, and the big thing we were talking about is, look, you gotta polarize people. You gotta make them like middle of the road, right? Like perfect this, perfect video sales letter, perfect outfit, suit, tie. If it's a guy, you know, perfect dress. If it's a girl. You know, I don't know where we got these notions of like this is how it's got to be, but it's not true. It's not true. You are who you are. You're different, right? And you just like you're different from everybody else, and you just embrace that difference. That makes you different. That gets people to notice. Like you polarize people. You move them to the plus or the minus. But what you don't do is you don't play it safe.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing that you could do, right? That's how you don't get any attention at all. And
yeah.
So, were you always like that, or did you come into that? Because I think people have a thing with it. I've
always been like that. I posted something on Facebook the other day that it was from my kindergarten teacher, and it was like, she's really good, but she tends to be a bit social. And I'm like, I've been like that since kindergarten. It's just me. And like I said, a lot of people don't like it, and I'm completely fine with it. It's just, here's the thing is, I realize that, you know, everyone comes, I don't know if you've ever read 4 Agreements, but like, everyone comes from different backgrounds, and one of the 4 agreements is don't take anything personally. So if people don't like me, I'm completely open to constructive criticism. I get it. I'm not everyone's cup of tea, which is the picture that you posted the other day. Not everyone's going to like me, but I do take it as, you know, constructive criticism, and I do try to learn from it, but I don't take it personal. You would literally have to come and punch me in the face for me to ever get hurt over what someone else says about me, because it doesn't matter. If anything, it allows me to learn. It allows me to better myself. It allows me to take that criticism and grow from it. Or, I mean, sometimes I've really messed up. I've said some stupid shit, and I get it, and I learned from it, you know. But me editing and worrying about exactly what I'm typing, or is that picture okay for so-and-so, it hasn't gotten me anywhere. What's gotten me places, what's gotten me sales, what's grabbed new clients for me is just telling people, hey man, I mess up webinars sometimes, I misspell words, I'm not perfect, and people let their shoulders down and they realize, oh, okay, she doesn't think she's a guru, you know? And I think that's what's important, is not trying to fit up and live up to anyone else's status or what they think is popular, I guess. If that makes sense.
Totally. So tell me this, do you have a certain amount of people, like let's say if you have a target goal, right? Do you have a certain amount of people that you reach out to every day? Do you have a goal for that day? Do you have a goal for the week of people that you message, or they're on your radar, or you get on the phone? Like, do you keep those metrics? How do you go about it?
Yeah, I try to reach out to or like talk to. Well, here's the thing. I've been at 5,000 Friends for a long time, and I think I was talking to maybe like 100 of them, if that. And so what I've been trying to do is really lately I've been trying to weed out all the popular thing right now is everyone's like, try to get to 5,000 friends, and I'm trying to do the opposite. I'm trying to weed out the people that maybe I won't be able to be of service to, or I don't talk to, or I don't relate with, or they're posting stuff that doesn't resonate with me. You know, for a long time, I felt that all the successful internet marketers and seven-figure earners and six-figure earners, I had to be friends with them. I had to connect with them. They said a lot of stuff that I was like, no, I don't agree with it, but I felt like because they were popular and they were a seven-figure earner that I had to be connected with them because all my friends were. And finally I realized, you know what, if your stuff does not vibe with me, I don't care how much money you've made, I don't care how many seminars you've done or how much your following is, you don't resonate with me, I don't need to be connected with you. And so now I'm between 5 and 10 people a day, but I'm trying to talk to the people in my friends list that I haven't talked to in the past 6 months. Like, I'm reaching out to people that I literally am like, who is this? This is my friend. Hey, you know what? We've been friends since blah, 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 and I'm connecting with them. If they don't reply, then I get rid of them. But it's crazy because some people that I've done this recently with the past week, I'm like, hey, you know what? We've been friends since September. I realize we've never talked. How are you? And they're like, oh, yeah, I've been watching you. They know exactly what I'm doing. Every single person I've talked to knows exactly what I'm doing. And I haven't talked to this person in 6 months. And so I encourage people to, just like I said, instead of collecting all those new people, look in your friends list. I guarantee there's people who you're on their radar that you have no idea who they are. You could scroll through and find a name, connect with them, and they'll know what you're up to. You know, it's unfortunate. And the way the algorithm goes and everything, like, there's just people that want what you have and maybe you're a little timid and haven't reached out to you that you can connect with and get something going. That's what I've been doing. I just signed up someone last night. I never talked to her. I reached out to her and she goes, oh my gosh, I bought your course and I've been following what you're doing. I signed her up in my network marketing opportunity last night because she was one of the people that I chose to reach out to this week. Out of nowhere.
Yeah. So. I mean, the big takeaway is I always tell people, look, like it's exactly the same thing you said. Like, and I know you have to go here in a few minutes, but you're only a couple of messages or a few calls away from whatever money it is you want to make, like within reasonable numbers. But like whatever the number that you have in your mind that you said that you're gonna, that's basically like a few messages away and a few calls away, and it's no more complicated than that. Like, you don't have to do anything fancy. It doesn't have to be complicated, right?
Well, for me, yeah, and it's so funny too because just like you said, like, money is everywhere. Like, it's not hard to get money. And so what I realized is I was doing webinars, and I love doing webinars. I give away a ton of free content because I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. I don't have a scarcity mindset. So I've probably done 20 free webinars lately. Yeah. Recently I wanted to make a larger purchase, and I was like, what would be the fastest way for me today to not have to touch any of my resources that I could pay for this right now, today? I went in Canva, I made a little graphic, and I said, I'm going to host a personal webinar because I have a course out, but I have a bunch of content that I didn't put in there because it would make the course ridiculously long. So I have all this extra content that I'm sitting on. I said, contact me if you'd like me to teach your MLM how to crush it on Facebook. I mean, on Instagram. I had a bunch of people contact me and I said, okay, here's what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to do XYZ. It's $1,000. Guess how many of those I got? Almost 4 that day and 1 the next day. So I made $5,000 from putting up one picture because I was like, I'm sitting on stuff. And you know what? I'm going to over-deliver, and I have over-delivered. So that stuff that I've been doing for free for so long, all I did was grab a little bit more content that I know is going to help them that I haven't shared with anyone. I put a price tag on it. I offered it. 4 people grabbed it within the first day. I almost made $5,000 in a day. So it doesn't matter. And like I said, I was just sitting on that stuff. I've been doing free webinars like it's going out of style. So could you imagine if I would have done that earlier, how much more money I would have made? And it's not about the money. It's just one of those things that I thought, how can I do this without touching what I currently have? How can I think outside of the box? And it was as simple as taking 5 minutes to make a graphic, offering what I already do and giving some incentive, and there you go.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
Pretty easy.
So people don't understand, like, there's money there, right? There's money there, a few messages away, a few phone calls away. So I know you have to get, what's your, like, recommendation for somebody who's starting out? Maybe they're like, you know, they're not posting enough. I think people don't post enough. And the thing that you said, I had the same experience. I went to San Francisco, and people that I haven't talked to in a while, they're like, oh yeah, how are your abs doing? I see you posting your abs. They're looking good. Right, and I'm like, whoa, like, where did that come from, right? And they weren't liking my stuff, and they weren't commenting on my stuff, but it's just like you said, they were seeing my stuff, right? So everybody sees, everybody wants to check out. Like, we all got this voyeur thing. We're like, oh, I wonder what Tarlise is doing. Like, oh, she, how's that thing, And that's what we're doing. That's what everybody's doing. So everybody knows what you ate for breakfast, and it matters. That's the thing. Like, people think, oh, why does it matter? It matters, right? It makes a difference. It's a connection. So yeah.
One thing that I can say that ties into this, and we'll cut it off, and relates directly to what you just said, is you brought up breakfast. So the other day, I posted a picture of a sandwich. I just moved to Ocean Beach, and I'm kind of new to the area, and I posted a sandwich, and I was like, this is the most freaking delicious sandwich I've ever had. I couldn't figure out what was different. It had onions on it. I hate onions. Hate it. And I devoured that thing like it was my last meal. So then I was sitting there, and I was like, wow. I've been saying no onions for like 20 years now, and it was fine for me. So then it got me thinking, what else am I just doing by habit? So as I was thinking that, I typed it up on my phone, just a little post I typed on my phone. I got one interview that I'm being interviewed for tomorrow, and 2 guest blog posts for that post because I posted a picture of my sandwich and related a story to it and told, like, I was like, what else have you been doing out of habit? Are there some, and I just made a long a Facebook post about it. But so many people reached out to me and were like, whoa, I didn't realize I was doing this out of habit. Holy cow, I didn't realize this. So I got an interview and 2 guest blog posts because I posted a picture of my lunch. It's stuff like that. Like, so you said one word of advice, guys. There's stuff that you're doing all day, every day. Maybe you're posting a picture on Facebook that didn't get very many likes, or you're posting something on Instagram. Think of how you can turn that into something that's currently happening in your life and turn it into content that will relate to other people. Those are the kind of posts that get you sales. Those are the kind of posts that get you clients, because had I just posted a picture of my sandwich, that would have been cool, but I told a story, I related it to how everyone could understand. Everyone's had something that they're holding on to that they don't need to. And it all started simple, but who knows where it could go from there. I get a guest spot on a blog, someone else sees it, holy shit, I got a new connect. Like, there's so many different things, but it's just one of those things where step outside the box, think of other people. What would you be looking for? How can you relate? And those are the things that make you money on Facebook. And it's as simple as doing what you're already doing.
Perfect. Okay. Last piece of advice before you go. Final words. What should somebody be doing more of that most people are not doing?
Sharing the love, reaching out to other people. In my course, I talk about Instagram. there's a study that just came out that said 90% of people like and only 10% of people comment. So guess what I do all day, every day on Instagram? I comment because it sets me apart. And so by giving love to other people, by taking yourself out of the equation, that's where you start getting people and you start getting respect. And so what I can tell people right now is just go out, take yourself out of the equation and stop thinking of I need money, I need sales, because I promise you, once you start reaching out to people, sharing their stuff, commenting on their stuff, all of a sudden all the eyeballs come back on you, and sales will never be a problem. That's all I do.
Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, I'm totally in agreement with that. So, Therese, you're over. I took you 10 minutes over what you said.
No,
so
I appreciate it. Sorry that I was like, I don't know. I gotta get on one of those. I gotta get on one of those webinars that I sold last week.
Nice. Well, I really appreciate you jumping on and sharing some.
Thank you for having me. You rock. I appreciate it.
And let me know how I can help you. Okay.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Cool. Thank you.
You.
Talk soon.